Okay, should be live right about now. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna just take a look at something a little funny. In Ida here we have a copy of StarCraft Ghost, which was leaked earlier this month. And this is the debug executable that is found in the folder dump. It is runnable, but not straight from the dump as it comes packaged. What's needed to be done is you need to go into the folder of the game. Go ahead and just go here. And from here, you're going to go into MISC, make a copy of the original files in here. You can go into game.nls, open this up in something, use O10. And what I did simply, there's an issue where this executable will not run when there's more than 1024 lines in this file. Towards the end here, it has subtitles for the whole game. So I just stripped out the subtitles. I deleted them all. Results in a file that has 820 lines. So the executable is happy to run. Another thing I did was I looked through the strings for the executable, and I discovered a bunch of command line options. I'm gonna have to do this for here. They actually start here. It has a console, but I can't seem to get that to work. It has some sort of dev mode. Again, I can't get that to work. I can't get much to work. It seems like the executables in this folder are from a much earlier version of the game, and the assets that are in the folder are intended for the Xbox version, not the PC version. But it does look like they initially started off development on PC and migrated over to the Xbox about halfway through. These executables range in dates from 2002, like early 2002 to later 2002, 2003. Some of the executables that are in the folder .exe files are actually Xbox linked debug executables. Those can only run through a debugger that are connected to an XDK development kit, an Xbox development kit. So you can't run those in Windows, but the star executables, so you have star.exe, star_d, and star_u. Those are Win32 executables. So they're actually linked against Windows 32 APIs, and they're signed for use in the Windows GUI, which would be standard Windows. I'm going to go ahead and go into here. Process options. I set this these command line parameters. Window for just generating a window, so it's a 640 by 480 window that just pops up on the screen. There's no taskbar icon. There's no way to interact with it except if you have a joystick or a gamepad connected. I have an Xbox One USB connected controller right now. That seems to work. I disable cutscenes. The video files are in there. They do seem to be fine. They seem to work. But I don't know if the game will crash or try to run those and not have the right codec. Maybe I didn't even bother. I just disabled it outright. So we're not gonna deal with that. I turned off sound because the files that are included are Xbox XDK, basically wrapped files. They're XSB or XSW files, XBW, something like that. You need an extractor tool to extract the files out, but you still don't have the original file names, and you don't have the directory names, so there's no real way of knowing where the files are supposed to go. I don't think the Windows file here, the Windows binary, has the ability to read anything but WAV files, but all that's shipped in this leaked copy of the game are XSW, Xbox files. So I just disable the sound outright. Reslog seems to be a resource logging feature, and that is dumping files into the main directory here. So we're getting these text res, model res, nod res, sound res, and this res log always gets generated upon loading the program. It never generates anything in it though, but these two do. I have those open over here. So this shows that it is loading these resources, or at least it's trying to. And the main thing that's throwing me off is the fact that it is trying to load these Xbox fonts. So that would indicate this, I can also correlate that in the actual debug within IDA. It does have, the executable has been linked against Xbox header files. So even though this executable is from 2002, 2003, which would be around the time of the Tokyo Game Show, which there actually is a hidden. Here we go. TGS. This actually activates a different form of the game startup code. But the Tokyo Game Show 2002 is where Nihilistic Gaming went ahead and showed off to Blizzard, hey, we've got this game going, can we continue working on this? And they gave them the go-ahead. So this actually activates the TGS demo. So we can actually, let's run it the way I have it set up right now, and then we'll jump into that. We'll see the difference. So we'll start this up. And it gives me a little error message about the sound. That loads. Okay. Now with a controller hooked up, you can actually go through the menu options, which you can't see the text for, but believe me, they're there. Using the upper left button, which would be, I think, the white button on the Xbox controller. Might be the black one, but I think it's the white one. You can actually select things. Of course, nothing really happens. It seems to crash. It hangs up here. Press the back button, and oh, you can go back to that menu. Okay, so that menu just has nothing in it. Let's go to this one. No, there's nothing selectable. You just go back on it. This one actually has 3 different selectables, and it is actually moving around. So it looks like it's loading some geometry, but no textures, or it's just loading the basic DirectX. I want to call it a skeleton. That's what I would call this. So I can just. It does have animations. Nothing in these. If you press the left button, it doesn't do anything when you're in these menus. Press the right upper button and it brings you back. Alright. There. Nothing in that one. Go to this one, and it brings up this much larger menu. If you're looking in the debug log towards the bottom here, you'll see texture test splash StarCraft does not exist, replacing with default. It's also finding that all the textures are DDS files. They're not compressed DDS files either. It's also complaining that files have MIPS, but they're being discarded when they're loaded. I don't know if that's a limitation of this executable, being that it's either older or newer, the resources are newer than it's expecting, or what. You try and load that, it crashes. That seems to be the main executable, main first level. Now let's go ahead and change over to this TGS option. So I'm gonna add /TGS to this, and you'll see how it. Oops. That'll do. Okay. You'll see how this changes the load. Can't complain about that file again. Fully set's missing because all the sound files are missing. Now you see it's actually replaced the menus with this press start texture and this visual effect. So if we press start, it just sits there. Nothing happens. Press start again, nothing. Hit the back button. Nothing. Do that all day. Nothing's gonna happen. I keep pressing start. What should be start? Nothing happens. Yeah, nothing happens when you press any other buttons on the controller. I can keep going back into this press start button. And it seems to be the TGS demo. So it should be launching the TGS demo files at this point, but it's just missing all those resources. So there's that. Aside from that, there's several other options that I haven't really explored in terms of you know, hidden command line options. Yeah, there's something like make cache, no, you know, max MIP, model level of detail. But I'm not even getting into the game, so I don't really care that much about those options. I care more about, you know, what is this dev mode? What's console? What's board? What is auto? The question is like, okay, let's try, okay, whatever auto is. How about board? How about let's try console, no fog, sure. No physics. It's complaining about physics in the debug anyway. No sound. Yeah, reslog. Sure. Player, why not? Okay, we'll try these. I think I got rid of TGS, but maybe not. Still complain about the fully set, yeah. Okay. Pressing start. Yeah, I forgot to take out the TGS. Okay. It is definitely trying to load animations and physics from the game files, and it's given us issues where it's like, well, I don't know how to process that, so I'm not gonna do anything with it. We know the first one crashes immediately. I think there's a couple where it's like, no, it just crashes regardless. But you can see in here, game motion, mode, gun melee, not recognized in motion file, Nova NMS. NMS files seem to be their motion animation files. And it's finding all these modes that it doesn't recognize. So I think it's quite obvious that this is a much older version of the build of the game. It doesn't know what to do with any of the files that are in here that are intended for the Xbox version, because it's such an old version of the game engine. Hopefully, maybe we'll get somewhere with this. Maybe not. It's early days yet. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Very basic things of what I'm doing here. Alright. That's that.